Hello humans and dinosaurs, this is Lopho, and today we are going to be doing a little series about dinosaurs and prehistoric SCP creatures of the SCP Foundation. And yes, today we are here for another friend of mine, Dino Digo. Say hi, Digo.
How's it going, guys? Glad to be here.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Alright, so this is going to be a small series. And yeah, I have a little lovely script here which we're gonna do with Digo here, and yeah, stay tuned.
The world is filled with dangerous and abnormal creatures. Despite the harm these entities, individuals, monsters, and even places can cause, the SCP Foundation insists on containing these rather bizarre things to study. But today we're here to talk about the more primordial group of animals that the SCP Foundation has kept within containment, the first of which, SCP-250, also known as the living Allosaurus skeleton.
Wait, isn't that a Monolophosaurus, not an Allosaurus? I mean, look at the skull!
Well, a few paleontologists suggest Monolophosaurus also belongs in the group of Allosaurids where Allosaurus belongs. I guess there was a bit of a mix-up. Both Monolophosaurus jianji and Allosaurus fragilis were species of theropod dinosaurs that lived in the late Jurassic period. They were top predators of their time, not only having the advantage in size, but also in strength.
But that's back when it actually had flesh. SCP-250 is simply the skeletal remains of an Allosaurid that's somehow still alive and functional. Despite not having internal organs or flesh of any kind, it still behaves like a regular animal.
It's relatively active throughout the day, inactive during the night, and still sticks to a specific diet of pretty much anything that it sees as prey, which is pretty much any living thing. It will hunt and kill and eat humans if given the chance, but during its containment it's been given live animals to feed on, to which their remains simply fall through the mouth of the Allosaurus. The choice of food is typically a live pig that's given to the dinosaur every 2 days.
This behavior is something that paleontologists would see as normal for something like an Allosaurus, as they considered it as an active predator in its time. It fed on stegosaurs and sauropods, whether they were hunted or scavenged, with fossil evidence backing this up.
As far as the creature itself goes, not much is really known about it. The date in which it was found, along with the person who discovered it, are not disclosed for reasons that are unknown, but it had been displayed in a museum for a short period before it had eventually came to life, to which it then killed some of the museum workers. It was then taken to the SCP Foundation, where it was studied to hopefully give more insight on how this thing is even alive in the first place. The Foundation unfortunately had not been able to find a proper explanation, but they do provide a few theories.
One theory involves a possible smart virus overtaking the skeleton, causing it to animate and become alive, but this theory was ruled out after the Foundation put this virus up to test with actual lifeless animal skeletons, only for nothing to happen. Other theories involve genetic engineering, time travel, and even a wizard casting a spell on the dinosaur, giving it life. Nobody can definitely say for sure what reason is behind why this dinosaur is alive, resulting in one of the strangest and most mysterious SCP creatures.
Next we have SCP-563. Unlike SCP-250, SCP-563 is a place rather than a creature. This location is a plot of land containing special facilities that raise and farm several species of dinosaurs from the Jurassic and Cretaceous period. The company behind this is known as the Ancient Dragon Culinary Corporation, and this piece of land that they've worked on is located in Hubei Province, China.
These dinosaurs and the foods there are eventually found to be separated into groups. SCP-563-A are the actual live specimens of dinosaurs, and SCP-563-B are the lines of food products that are made out of these live specimens.
Some examples of these products are provided on the official SCP site, the first of which is called Patasaurs, a ramen that contains the meat of a sauropod dinosaur that's thought to be an Abrosaurus, a genus of macronarian sauropod discovered in Asia, mixed in with a sweet and sour sauce.
There is also something called Velociraptor noodles, which are also noodles with several different dinosaur meats, rice, melon, and so on included within them.
Next we have something called dragon bone tea, which is said to be made out of the bone meal of dragons. However, some tests have shown that it is partially made out of the bone remains of dinosaurs, but it's hard to say as it only really makes up 25% of the test. The rest is unknown.
Then we have a product by the name of Dino Snacks, which apparently contains several different species within its ingredients, especially the mascots featured with this product, which seems to be a tyrannosaur and a raptor of some type.
Next, we have what is known as the Kentucky Fried Therizinosaur, which is exactly what it sounds like, a fried bird-like animal that is made up of mostly Therizinosaurus meat. They're said to have been sold in South Korea. Lopho, have you ever had one of these?
Sadly not, but I would love to. Next we have Kyoryu Kokan, which is described as literal dinosaur testicles. Please don't demonetize us, YouTube. Anyways, this product is said to increase sexual stamina and fertility in both men and women, and that it is made from mostly the meat of a pterosaur, not a dinosaur, known as Geholopterus.
Where these creatures came from is still unknown, but a partially recovered document found in the main office from one of the facilities talks about some of these prehistoric dishes and described them as the best thing they've ever tasted. While the document is too damaged to give a proper answer, it's speculated that these live specimens were discovered possibly from a country up north, maybe Russia or Mongolia, but nothing is 100% confirmed.
This truly is a very ambiguous case, and one that is very strange, even for the SCP Foundation. Maybe it's just the thought that dinosaurs being utilized in this fashion seems rather disturbing, but at the same time makes perfect sense, especially considering the starving world we live in. Regardless, it's a very unique case.
These were definitely some strange SCPs that we covered today, but there are more to come. Surprisingly, there are quite a few different dinosaur-related SCPs, and just like the ones covered today, they're pretty interesting. So join us as we continue to uncover what is known about these strange creatures that are contained by the SCP Foundation.